All right, here we go. We're going to try to do this whole thing on the drive home. Be very quick about it, and hopefully the sun won't set before I get home. So there's probably going to be all sorts of weird glares. I don't know why anyone would actually watch this, just, listen to it. Vikings win 5 in a row. 5 in a row. 27-19 over the Saints, the hated Saints, the still hated Saints, the still dirty Saints, by the way. They certainly still a bunch of cheap shot artists. Tale of two halves for sure. Let me get out of this little spot here. Tale of two halves for sure. First half was, I mean, it was Valhalla. It was just unbelievable. It was perfect. It's as electric as I've ever seen US Bank Stadium ever. For like an extended period, obviously, like after the Minneapolis Miracle, it was a little bit different. But I mean, the first half was just unbelievable. Just again, Joshua Dobbs, the encore. What was the encore going to be? Well, the encore was going to be probably even better than the first one. I mean, he's making the plays on the ground. He's making some great throws. I mean, he made a couple of throws in this game. That throw, the one to Hawkinson for the touchdown right before the halftime. That's an incredible throw. That was into like triple coverage, and he just nailed it. I mean, it was just an incredible throw, and it was just we were just killing him. T.J. Hawkinson doesn't even have a rib, but he's out there catching 10 balls for over 100 yards just in the first half. Addison made a couple plays. We get the running game going a little bit with Ty Chandler, who's so much better than Alexander Madison. It's just not even funny. And the defense is playing really well. Like they're feeding off the crowd, they're feeding off the momentum, and we're killing them. The car's getting beat up, and they're really not running on us. We still are doing really well on the run defense this year. I mean, what was it, like 5 of the first 6 possessions they scored? We had that neat Wildcat touchdown with Chandler, and then and then there was the Hawkinson one, and then the Dobbs, the running touchdown by Dobbs was just unbelievable. It's like you're watching this, and it's just like, this is it. We've got our guy. We've got our guy for certainly the rest of this season. I see the the name Case Keenum brought up a lot already. The first like second half last week and first half this week of Dobbs is better than Case Keenum ever was here. Case Keenum got a lot of credit. Not that he didn't deserve it, because he did play well, but there was really only a small stretch of that 2017 season where he was really a major plus, and Dobbs was better. The best we've seen of Dobbs so far, he's better than the best we saw of Keenum. So I mean, it's 24-3 at the half. They leave the field to standing ovation, well deserved, and and then even in the third quarter, they force a quick punt, and then they put together another little drive, go down, get a field goal, and it's 27-3, and it's a runaway. And then it's not, because it's the Vikings. We can never have that. We can never have an easy win. We can never just blow a team out, even a team just desperate to get blown out, like the Saints. And it switched for a couple reasons. One, I'm encountering some traffic here, trying to not get in an accident. Although it'd probably make a good video if I did get in an accident. I don't want to do that. Oh, this is stupid. With that. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I think in a second here, just to kick out pause, unpause. I could explain why my car pisses me off, but it's not worth it. All right, where was I? Yeah, the second half flipped for a couple of reasons. One, the Saints ended up with their own backup quarterback. Really hard hit, clean hit, but really hard hit on Carr, knocked his ass out of the game. I think it was Hunter got him. And in comes Jameis Winston, who was one of the guys rumored for us a couple weeks ago after the Kirk injury. And that was like of the guys, and Dobbs wasn't even on the radar really. It's like, oh, Jameis Winston might be available. Yeah, go get him. So he comes in and he gets a little bit hot, and I'm not sweating it too much. The couple touchdowns they got in the second half. Occasionally, you do just have to tip your cap to the other team, because those 2 touchdowns, the first one in the corner, I mean, that's just an incredible catch. Like, obviously, very good throw too, but a very good catch. And the second one, the one where Winston's like all the way over to the left, and then he fires it back to the right. I mean, I thought it was maybe it looked like it should have been picked, but tie goes to the offense. I thought that was just, those were just really, really good plays. So I'm not sweating that too much. But you're game planning for Carr, and then this other guy comes in there, and that can change things. And he got a little hot. They were like just destroying us. I mean, it's not like he came in and it was just non-stop touchdowns for the Saints. It was just they were able to make some plays and get some stuff going, and I wasn't expecting them to shut them out. We only gave up 19 points. I don't even think we gave up 300 yards total offense. Like, that's still overall a pretty good defensive effort. The bigger issue, I think KOC had some really, really bad second half game management. Both just decision making and play calling, all of it. The most egregious thing for me, like one thing, why did he do that? Why did he go for that field goal? The 54-yard Greg Joseph field goal when you're up. I think they were up 2 scores at that point. He goes for the 54-yard field goal. Everyone on the planet knew that Joseph was gonna miss that kick. Everybody knew, and it was a 4th and 3. Like, it'd be different if it was like a 4th and long, but it was a 4th and 3. You can make a 4th and 3. You could just put the ball in Dobbs' hands and have him maybe try to run him outside and get maybe he's able to pick up a first down. I would certainly trust Josh Dobbs over Greg Joseph in that situation. But yeah, he really took the ball out of Dobbs' hands in the second half. I get when you have a lead, when you have a big lead, like a 3-score lead, I get you're not gonna just chucking the ball all over the place and stuff. You're gonna play it a little closer to the chest, but there's limits, man. And he was very gutless, I thought, in some instances. Like, even when they got it back, I think off the first interception, the Blackman interception, and they just run it 3 times, like not even giving Dobbs an opportunity. Like Dobbs has given you very ample reason through the last 2 weeks to trust him, that he's going to do something smart, and you don't even give him the chance. You don't even give him the opportunity to do anything. So I was very disappointed that he just took the ball out of Dobbs' hands. Obviously, we were running it. They didn't really run it very well then, in the second half either. We just don't have the running game where you can just lean on the running game in the second half with the lead. Like, that's just not the type of team that we've got. And again, I thought Chandler ran it pretty well early. Madison was his usual self, and then he got knocked out with a concussion. Because one of the reasons this game took 3.5 hours, because there were so many injury stoppages. It's just a ton of injuries in this game, but Madison was one. Kene Wangu got in there for a couple carries. They're going to have to. If Madison's out, they're going to have to pick up another running back somewhere. Maybe guy used to wear number 28. Why not bring him in? It was incredibly conservative and very gutless at times, and just stupid. And then there was the challenge. I didn't have a problem with the challenge that he had. I think it was in the first half still. Yeah, it was in the first half where it looked like maybe Addison caught a touchdown. It was close. Didn't really complete the process. The one that pissed me off was when Cam Bynum got a pick and they overturned it. Unless they showed different stuff on TV, that was an interception. That was just a blatantly obvious interception. And there were ref shenanigans in the second half. They called some real bullshit. They called a penalty on Daniil Hunter for an automatic first down for hands to the face. He didn't do shit. He had his helmet torn off, and they're calling him for hands to the face. But it's a Vikings Saints game. There's going to be ref shenanigans. There's ref shenanigans every week. It's just and I wasn't a big fan of the penalty they called on Brian O'Neill, big hold that actually wiped out a touchdown, which pissed me off. That would have been a long Ty Chandler touchdown. Look, I saw it. That didn't look like holding at all, but maybe there were other angles they showed on TV. But then there was the one, later in the game. It was just a few minutes left in the game, and he challenges, and he didn't lose. He technically won the challenge, but he's challenging that the guy was down. But it's the clock is going to stop. Even if you win the challenge, the clock is stopped. They're going to be ready to run the play right away. So you're not gaining anything by, even if you win that challenge, to say, oh, he was actually down by contact instead of an incomplete pass. Yeah, the clock will run, but you're not gaining anything. I thought that was very stupid. And then the other thing that was really pissing me off in the second half, and this goes to early in the second half, they're snapping on offense, they're snapping the football every play with 10, 15 seconds left on the play clock. Burn clock, man. The clock is your friend. When you're up 27-3 or 27-11 or whatever, the clock is your friend. You don't need to be hurrying to snap the ball. They could have burned off multiple minutes of that second half if they had just done that. Just snap the ball. Take it down to 1 or 2 seconds and then snap the ball. There's no reason to rush that. And that was really driving me insane. That's one of those things you don't really notice much unless you're really looking at it. But I noticed it pretty early in the second half. I'm why are we hurrying up and snapping the ball with 15, 20 seconds left on the play clock? Hell, I thought even when they tried that field goal, it almost looked like they were going to rush and try to beat the end of the third quarter to do that. And it's I don't know. Basic time management stuff. What are you doing, man? Basic time management eludes a lot of coaches at a lot of points, even good coaches. Andy Reid's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's well known for bad time management. It's just, I don't know why it's so hard, but but the defense, they were putting some bad spots in the second half with some of these short drives and a couple bad field positions. But they only let up one touchdown drive that was the whole field. The other one was after the missed field goal, which never should have happened. And they were on not fluke plays, but just really great play. Sometimes the other team gets paid too, and they get it to make a play on you. So I'm not too mad about that. It could have been a much easier game. Even most of the way, I wasn't even worried that they were going to lose. It was just this doesn't have to be. It doesn't always have to be this. It doesn't always have to be as complicated as they make it. But I think overall this was a very, very good performance. I think it raises the expectations again for Dobbs, because he's only going to get better. There were some throws in the first half where he missed them, and it's boy, if he's got more familiarity with the receivers, he's nailing those. But he still made some made a few excellent throws. That TD throw to Hawkinson was a fabulous throw. There was another one he threw into like triple coverage, but that was a catch. Of course, I think it was the first drive of the game. He almost threw a interception, but it wound up being a catch. Yeah, I mean, Dobbs has got everybody fired up. That stadium in the first half was as electric as I've ever heard it. People were just going nuts, and with good reason, because Dobbs was playing outstanding. And he's the guy the rest of the season. I mean, I'm sorry, Jaron Hall, that you had you were having your opportunity and it kind of got taken away from you through no fault of your own. Jaron Hall can stick around. He can be, we still might need him. You never know. We might need Nick Mullins still. You never know. But yeah, Dobbs has, I think, secured the job, no questions asked, for the rest of the season, unless there's an injury. But why would there be an injury in this Viking season? Jesus Christ, we lost Madison to a concussion. Hicks was out for a while. Hawkinson was getting beat up. It's just these things don't stop. Yeah, a good win. We got the Lions playing as I speak. I believe they were leading last I saw. I think they were up by like 14 already. But they can keep this up. They can get this wild. They can at least get in the playoffs. And they'll be a dangerous team if they do get in the playoffs, because the defense is legitimately playing very, very well. Maybe if you get Marcus Davenport back at some point, that'll help too. And Dobbs is the real deal. It's astonishing that they got him for so little. I think this was just another terrific game from him. The encore was worth it. Like it wasn't. Thought, well, maybe after the big high of last week that there's going to be now a big letdown. There wasn't. Not from him. At least while he was allowed to keep going. But yeah, we're going to cut this a little short because I'm almost home. But excellent. It's an excellent win, and you beat a first place team. I mean, the Saints aren't a great team, but they're a solid team, and you had to get this win. Now you got Denver and the Bears the next two games, then the bye, and then the Raiders. And who knows what the Raiders are going to be, because they made a coaching change and they looked good last week, but who knows? I mean, you could. I mean, it's a lot to ask to win 8 in a row for any team, but you could do it. You could do it, and then you're going to get Jefferson back. Like, you almost got him back this week, but you might get him back next week. And Dobbs is only going to get better. He's only going to get better with his accuracy, with his knowledge of the playbook. I don't think we've seen the best of Dobbs yet. I think there's still another level. And if he can escape the injury bug that is just never ending this season, yeah, I think he's going to get the Vikings into the playoffs and make them pretty dangerous once they are in the playoffs. So yeah, I think this was a good win. Again, a little more drama than we needed, but I don't think it diminishes the overall quality of the win and the performance. Again, they are doing this with incredibly shorthanded, so it's okay to have a little, to have some hiccups. But great win. 6-4 now. Remember when we were 1-4 and Jefferson got hurt and it was just like, it's over. And remember when Cousins gets his Achilles torn and it's just over? It's not over. It's just the beginning.